All right, I've got exactly 2 o'clock, and excited to have you join. For those of you who are tuning in after the fact, uh, welcome as well. Just so you know, I'll be sending everyone who registered a video as well as the PowerPoint that I'm going to be showing you, and some more information about creating and selling your products. Going to try and take just about 30 minutes. I don't want to take too much of your time, but we'll be doing a lot of follow-up. Really excited to have you here because I've been doing this a long time, creating products. And in the last couple of years, as I'm sure you know, AI has pretty much changed everything. And things that used to take me weeks and months to do now take hours and days. And things that used to cost thousands of dollars now cost not much or nothing. So let's go ahead and jump in. I am Lawrence Shapiro. Whoops. And this is me. I have been creating books and workbooks and storybooks and board games for 40 years, maybe. I had a couple other companies. Between Sessions is probably how you know me, but I also had a company, Child's Work, Child's Play, and Instant Help Books. So I've been doing this a long time. This little character over here is me. It's an avatar. Dr. Larry. When I was working with Child's Work, this is quite a while ago, we had a cartoon of me called Dr. Playwell. I didn't really like the way it looked. It looked like kind of a goofy looking guy. But in any event, we put it on the games, we put it on the books, and found that it was not only a branding tool, but kids liked it. Kids liked identifying with someone who was helping them. So I'm kind of recreating in 2025. I think this one's a little better looking. And I think I'm going to call him Dr. Larry. I might call him something else, but you'll start to see him on things that we do at between sessions and other things that we do. So that is me. Uh, let's go on. Yeah, so objectives. So what I want to do today is give you, again, an overview with four objectives. The first is going to be to look at AI tools. These are the ones that I use and we use at Between Sessions Resources. There are many, many, many AI tools, but these are ones over the last couple of years that we think are some of the best. Uh, and again, I want to encourage you. This is a new era for creators because AI tools have just made everything so much easier and smarter, really. So if you were ever thinking about developing a product, a book, a game, an audio, we'll get into all of these, this is the time to start. The second thing I want to help you do is decide what you want to produce. And there are many different types of products. You may have some that I haven't thought of, but these are the ones that we've created. These are the ones we sell. At the end of the webinar, I'll be telling you, I mentioned the word sell, but I think making products, is some effort. I don't mean to say that it's no effort, but it can bring in another revenue stream. And we at Between Sessions will be buying some of the products for our membership site, maybe workbooks or even worksheets that you create. And we also have a way to sell your products through our counseling store. And that we do that with other people as well, where we basically split the proceeds from the sale. And I'll tell you about some other platforms as well, where you can sell all kinds of products, both digital and hard products, and as we'll talk about print-on-demand products as well. So those are the three kind of measurable goals, if you will. But the most important is the one in red, which is to inspire you to create your own products. Because I can't tell you, having spent a good part of my adult life doing this, how rewarding it can be. Yes, it can certainly be, revenue producing, but more importantly, I think to you and to me is how many people you can help with a book, with a game, and when you get these things out there, you really have no idea how many people you're helping. And most of you people listening are doing one-on-one therapy or maybe group therapy, and that's of course wonderful. But your expertise, your knowledge, uh, even your passion, it can be translated into something very tangible. And of course, I'm a big believer in between sessions resources. So whether people are in therapy or not in therapy, you can make a huge impact around the world. And I of course like to be a part of that journey and hope I can be some inspiration if that's possible. Becoming a creator. So I will reference a number of AI tools. I use ChatGPT, like a lot of you do. Um, and I asked ChatGPT to define what a creator is. And most important is in red, creators shape culture, inspire change, and often blur the lines between traditional professions and new evolving forms of media and expression. And creator, we're not, is a term we use a lot for social media creators. And we're really kind of limiting it to product creators. You may be a social media creator as well. This is Leonardo da Vinci. I asked another one of the tools I'll be talking about, Midjourney, to create a picture of Leonardo da Vinci sitting at a desk, but sitting at a desk, and he is a psychologist. And this is the kind of thing that you can do. This took about 60 seconds for Midjourney to come up with. Now, you will notice if you look closely, generally the drawing tools you get with AI uh, don't do a good job with words. The psychologist is spelled wrong and on the plaque and pretty much everywhere. But one of the reasons, and I'll show you Midjourney in a little bit, that I like it is because you can edit it. So I can make that spelling correct right in the picture as well. But you don't have to dress like this if you don't want to, but if you do want to, that's fine. But Da Vinci is alive now. I don't know what would be happening, but certainly we have with AI tools a whole new world, that we can explore. And I don't know if we'll be Da Vinci, but we'll certainly be better than we were just a few years ago before AI was invented. Tools to use. So again, there are many, many tools out there. These are just the few that I use. On the screen, you see a poster I created with Midjourney and Canva and 11 Labs. So the poster, which is, and I'm not even sure where I got the idea from, but I said, draw me a picture of a woman riding a giraffe with a pig and a parrot. And what Midjourney will do, what most image programs will do, is they'll give you of 4 or 5 choices, and then if you don't like it, you can go back and refine that prompt. I happen to really like this kind of old-fashioned image. I then use Canva to just make the simple words, trust the journey. And 11 Labs, which is an audio AI program, which then you can put text into 11 Labs and it will create the audio. And then we use a QR code generator so that you could even do this now. If you take your phone up to that QR code, you would get the audio we created, which was on developing grit. So those were actually 3 different programs, and generally that's what you're going to find. It's not like there's one magic program that creates everything for you. But again, we have what, 5 different programs here: Midjourney, uh, ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Dolly also for images. ChatGPT for writing. There are many that will do that. I happen to like ChatGPT. 11 Labs, again for audio. And that's basically taking text to audio, choosing a voice. It could be with different accent, could be a different language, could be different emotions. And it could be your own voice. One thing 11 Labs does is it'll clone your own voice if you prefer to do that. Canva for design, and then Workbook Creator was something we have on our site. If you're already a member of our Site Genius membership or VCR membership, we have our own Workbook Creator, which I'll be talking about as well. But let's take a look at Midjourney, and it's just too much fun. Let's see if I can open. That's the home screen. But let's go to one that's already opened. And this is going to be things that I've been working on. I thought, well, maybe I'll design a t-shirt. So I just said, design a t-shirt. Welcome to my webinar. I said, put the t-shirt on a 50-year-old psychologist. This guy looks a little older, but sometimes when I'm creating, and we'll get into print on demand rather, this is not how you do print on demand, but I want to get some ideas for what it might look like. And Midjourney is great for that. These are just designs, that I wanted to use for different backgrounds. I wanted to make some cups, so got some ideas. I don't even know what these monsters are doing in there, but something. And then I looked at a game. I want, love to make games. And this one was on teddy bears, and the prompt is over here. Make a game board. Oops, that's not the game board. Let's see. Yeah, make a game board of a cartoons using with teddy bears all around. Make a path of 30 squares around the game board. So you can see it didn't do a great job, but I could have worked at it a little more. Here's one I was doing with ducks. These were backgrounds for coloring. I'm not sure what I was doing here, but again, coloring pages. So these are all, once you sign up for Midjourney, and I should say that the programs that I'm talking about, I believe all of them have free versions. And then, of course, they want you to upgrade. Here's our woman on the giraffe. They want you to upgrade. They're not terribly expensive, $20 usually, $15 or $20 a month. But generally, I think it's worth upgrading if you're going to be doing it seriously, because it gives you tools. For example, and we'll just scroll. I don't know. I got this. I wanted a picture of Freud marrying technology. I didn't like any of these, but there he goes. Freud was in love with technology. But in any event, the thing that Midjourney can do that a lot of other image creators can't do is to edit. So you can go to a certain section. As I say, Midjourney that does not do a great job with words. It can do not. A lot of images don't do a great job with image creators with hands and feet. So you can highlight that area and just say, make this better, or use these words, or whatever. So that's why I like that. Canva is, if you're not using Canva, that's something you really might want to think about. This is a design program. Now, this is a workbook I did. The cover, I did the cover, I believe, in Dolly, which is accessed through different ways, but through ChatGPT. And I want to talk about what kids who are anxious are always thinking about, what if this happens, or what if that happens. So I told Dolly to create a what if machine. And this is the great looking picture it came up with. Again, if you look closely, there's some words that shouldn't be there. So I'm going to have to take this image into Midjourney and fix up those kind of random words. While we're here, let's take a look at a few other things. This is kind of my go-to, and another creator we have is Jenica DeCastro, and she's doing some amazing things all the time. Uh, Here's a board game. Again, I'll create the board game. This, if you can see it, let's take a look at it, I guess, and then upload it into from created in Midjourney, upload it into Canva, add the words, add some of these little elements, uh, the happy faces, and kind of made it more into the kind of game board I was looking at. And let's take a look at one more, which is a coloring book. And again, covers used to drive me crazy because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted. And then, of course, it was extremely expensive to go and find, the artist to create that book. This took 60 seconds. Again, I think I used Dolly, and I said I'm trying to create a coloring book for kids with attention deficit disorder. Draw me a cover, and that's the cover. Now, it didn't, the words I added, that's Canva, that's the kind of thing you have to do, but the background here I really like. And if I didn't, I'd just say, I might have, now that I think of it, probably did say two or three times, like put in more kids or put in more, background or whatever it happens to be. Again, I haven't written the intro yet. We will put in some meditations. We'll get using audio in our QR code creator, because I love the idea of mindfulness coloring plus the meditations. And then these were done in Midjourney. Again, the prompts are really what makes it. Create a line drawing, a black and white line drawing that can be colored in, of two boys arguing. And Jenica actually made these, really great drawings which can be colored. And then, of course, we can play with them and put in the words, and that's what you do with Canva. In terms of our workbook creator, let's see if we can take a look at that. These are, if you're a member of Between Sessions, you know that we have worksheets and workbooks. This is, and we have a workbook creator. So this is a workbook we created for teenagers. Your most important assignment is you, and our workbook creator will create, the cover was actually created in Canva and then imported into our workbook creator. And then what our workbook creator will do is create the table of contents and let you put in your introduction. And then, of course, give you the worksheets that go in the workbook. So that's all pretty cool. And again, I'll be happy to show you how to use that at some point. Again, other books. So here's the coloring book I mentioned, the workbook. These are all in progress. Maybe one of the things we have to watch out for if you're like me. I've got too many things in progress and actually want to finish some of these things. But the last thing that some of you may be interested in are a nonfiction book. Now, this particular book was actually, I'd written a book called The Secret Language of Children. And in that book, the first section was The Secret Language of Babies. So I thought that was years and years ago, books out of print. So let me take that section and turn it into a book. I use Canva, and I think that was a Midjourney for the little baby to create the cover. And again, I already had the first section of the book, but I decided to ask ChatGPT for an outline, and the outline of the book was better than what I had done. It did things that I didn't think of. It was very stiff. It needed a little work. I said, create a chapter for me. It wrote that. Again, very stiff. I needed to put an anecdote, so all I said is give me anecdotal examples of what you're talking about. And it's again a work in progress. When you use AI, and if you're like me, I can usually tell in a minute if something's been written by AI. You don't, whether it's an image or whether it's words, uh, you really need to add your own expertise and your own thoughts and edit it. There's no such thing as an instant book, even though people might tell you it is. So you're, but I believe, and we'll see with this book, which will probably be about 50, 60,000 words and images. It will probably take me, if I really sat down, a couple of weeks versus about 9 months, I think is what it took me to write the original book. So it's not going to do everything for you, but it certainly will give you a great running start into writing a book. And obviously, your expertise in terms of shaping it, the outline, the chapters are really what's going to make it special. Worksheets and storybooks, I didn't give you examples of it, but worksheets are something we do all of the time. Uh, and storybooks, we're still experimenting with. I'd written many storybooks over the years. Storybooks being illustrated picture books. You might be familiar with Imagination Press, which is an APA, a publishing company, and I'm a big believer in bibliotherapy. So I think that there's a tremendous need for them. However, we have not found a good AI that does consistent characters. So there's AI things that will say, "Oh, we'll write you a children's book," but the little boy is redheaded in one picture, and then he's got blonde hair in another picture, and then he's 7 in one picture and 12 in another picture. It's coming, but we're still not quite there, I think, in terms of getting consistent images. Another thing I didn't put in here, which is something you might think about, and I really haven't done much with it, is video. There's a huge amount of interest and innovation in terms of AI video production. And I think there's a great opportunity for, say, YouTube cartoons, or even a website of self-help cartoons. There's a few out there, and they're just not nearly as good as what you can do with AI, but that's something that I hope to get into myself, but something you might want to think about. These are some other things that I've created. Again, audio meditations with 11 labs, board games. With board games, we between sessions do both digital board games, and if you're a member, you might be aware of our virtual casting rooms, where we can make it into a digital board game simply by uploading the image and the dice and the cards and so on. There are ways to produce a physical board game, which is something I did for many, many years. And that's something, if you're interested, I'd be happy to talk to you about. Card games, again, these are printable card games, which make it virtually doesn't cost anything but the printing. And then we'll talk about in a minute. This is a print-on-demand mug with a QR code. We call them meditation mugs. So there's different kinds of things you can produce. And I think your imagination is really going to be whatever you can think, you can probably do it. And certainly AI can help you do it. But one thing I did want to mention as a product type, which I'm starting to do, and it's something that a lot of people are doing very successfully, is print on demand. So this is a Printify. It is the company I use and it's I don't think it's anything to join. You pay for it connects you with people that print on demand, and then of course you pay them once you get the order. And the beauty of it is you never see it. So this is, remember the picture we saw, this is a framed picture we're selling with the QR code. And you can buy that for, I don't know, $30, I guess. And we never see it. It just goes from our site, which is a Shopify site, to the printer, whoever that is, and goes then it goes to the consumer. This is actually one of my favorite products. I've got this at home, which is a positive positivity blanket, and we just uploaded a from Canva. First, we created it in Midjourney, put the words, and there's 24 positive feelings. And then Printify also has a sister company. That's not a real person. That's a AI generated person, but we'll take that image and put it on a chair or put it on a bed or put it on a person or whatever. So things which used to cost, thousands of dollars in terms of graphic artists and photography and, printing inventory, it just costs almost nothing. And then there's that shirt I mentioned, shirts, and what you generally print on clothing is very popular, sweatshirts, uh, tote bags, shoes. There's and there's some interesting sites like the self-care shop that's what they do. They just sell products like shirts and sweatshirts with sayings on them and designs on them. So that's, if you're interested, that's something you can do really easily. And some people do really well with that uh, kind of shop and production. So this is where to sell your product. Again, I'm going to remind you that if you're listening, I'll be sending you this video and this PowerPoint and the URLs to all of these sites. So, it'll letter from me and hopefully all this information will be very readily for you. So, we have counseling store. That's our store. And we sell our digital products. We sell our print on demand products. We sell products from other people, digital products. So that's something that if you create a product, we can sell it for you. And that hopefully makes things easy. If you want to go the whole way and create and become a marketplace or have a storefront, these are some other Selfie, Fourth Wall, Gumroad, are all other digital platforms where you can sell both digital and, as you can see, and print on demand products. Amazon, you can sell print on demand products on Amazon. And of course, you can sell books and workbooks, and as well as print on demand books. So that's something that you can create the product. You can upload it to Amazon, you become an Amazon seller, and then you can have books for your house and for your lectures or whatever you want to do. But you don't have to have an inventory. You don't have to ship them. I find it amazing. We've got some books on Amazon. I ordered one. It's print on demand. When it gets my order, it prints that book. And in 2 days later, I got the book. And it's just really kind of shocking as to how the technology can work together as a creator as well as a seller. Social media shops, TikTok, of course, and Facebook has a shop. Etsy is not social media, but of course, obviously, they're a big seller. And Teachers Pay Teachers, which is been a phenomenal. It's not, if you're not familiar with them, they're a great product site for teachers. I've been selling them there for a little while, and these would be for counseling product because you're selling to teachers, so you're selling counseling products or social skills products or whatever it might be specific to mental health. So those are the objectives that I can teach you. The last one, of course, is up to you. So these are the questions that I want you to think about. What is your passion? What is your purpose? Are you working with couples? Are you working with ADD kids? Are you working with anxiety problems? What is your thing that you're doing a little different than everybody else, or you can visualize into a product which is no one has seen, or even if they have seen it, maybe there is already a workbook on helping anxiety with DBT. Well, that you might just do it a little differently, do it a little better, have a greater cover, better name, more maybe it's a workbook, maybe it's a nonfiction book. So just because it's been done certainly doesn't mean you can't do something similar. But uh, again, the tools are out there. It's really, I used to tell people that there's no excuse, not, if you believe in what you're doing, to not create a product. But there is an excuse, which is time, and money. But that's old. Now it doesn't really take any money if you want to self-publish or create something yourself. Or I should say very little. And time, I remember years ago, I was doing a workshop and someone had a really wonderful idea for a children's book. And this was in October. And I said, when do you think you'll have it done? And her answer was next August. And I'm thinking, really, that's a long, that's a long time. And it's something that I encouraged her to see if she could find just an hour a day to speed up that timeline. And now with AI, everything's become accelerated. So that still taking an hour a day, what would have taken you months could take you a couple weeks, even a couple days. So things that were keeping us back just a few years ago, really, there's the barriers have been lifted. So this is a great time to go ahead and there's 100 people now attending the webinar, and I hope that many of you or all of you will be able to really do something special, and we're here to help. When I will be sending you the follow-up with the Zoom recording as well as the PowerPoint, and I'll also be telling you how you can go to different webinars. We're going to do other webinars more specific and how to get coaching. So this is just the overview, just the beginning. But this is my passion, creating products which can get out into the world. I didn't mention, of course, but AI is great at translating pretty much anything, even Canva, so all those products that you see we're working on. I can translate anything into 20 languages literally in minutes. So, the world is waiting. And let me just check. I might see if I've got any questions here. Can you speak to the legal coverage we need to protect ourselves in providing these resources? Any disclaimers? Also, do we copyright these products? So this is a great question. So, disclaimers, of course, would be yes. Most of publishers do put disclaimers. If you look at, I work with New Harbinger all the time, and we do as well. If you're creating mental health products for consumers, you always want to say what the disclaimer is. Generally, that this is not therapy, that this is meant to help, and whatever the limitations are. So disclaimers are something you would, particularly if it's a book or a workbook, you want to make sure that people understand the limits of what you're doing. It's not, not therapy, but it's self-help. Copywriting and trademarking, generally, and that's a whole other lecture. But that being said, there are different levels of copywriting and trademarking, and if you have something you want to copyright, that you want to put the copyright little c, or write the word copyright, the name that you're copywriting with, that would be your name or your company's name, and the year. And that will give you limited protection. You can also register that copyright with the Library of Congress, which gives you complete protection. But frankly, we do so much, we pretty much just put the copyright notice, and that generally, in my experience of years and years and years, that's generally what I do. In terms of a trademark, again, there are limits to a trademark. But you put the TM, if it's a name, for example, or something. And again, you can register that trademark. And that then you have the little R in the circle, and it's a registered trademark, and that gives you more protection. And again, depending on what you're doing, all of that takes time, and sometimes needs a lawyer. So that's just something and I'd be happy to, talk to you about that. What you really need to do and what kind of liability or risks there are. But I don't generally spend too much time with it because again, the copyright symbol and the trademark are generally enough. I do need, in terms of AI, which I'm promoting a lot, you may or may not want to put that it's depending on how much you use AI. Now, I hope you won't produce anything with 100% AI, but Amazon, for example, if you try and sell something on Amazon written by AI, they do want you to say that. So and that's going to be evolving. Every month is to how much AI you want to use and how much you want to say that you use. So that's something, again, depending on your product. If I didn't mention, one of the things I'll be sending you is a way, if you've already created something, to let us know about it. So I'll be sending you to a web page, and you'll be able to submit something, for us to, again, to buy for our membership site or to sell for you. So you may already have something out there, and we'd be happy to take a look at it. Let me just check and see if there are other questions. I think that is it for now. So thanks for attending. We will be in touch. I will tell you how easy it is to find me. And again, thank you so much for attending, and good luck with your product.